You're right guys, so just shocked again with another deck profile for Post-Primal Origin, and this time it's been one of my favourite decks of all time. My second deck of all mine, next to my Mecha Phantom, which was a joint second. I would do one of them too. But today it will be Evo Tiles and Evo Swords, so the Evol deck. Basically this deck got a major boost off getting Evol Singularity, which we'll talk about in a minute. And so it's become a lot faster, a lot more restrictive, and you can do a lot more things, do it a lot quickly, and a lot more recursive plays. It's one of the few decks, if you noticed, I also run only 40 cards, because I can get away with running 40 quite considerably, and I want to draw into stuff as much as possible. So that's why we have dualities as well. So just the two Serato, main beat with the deck, easiest to bring back, easiest to pitch off my single Lucio, I think it's pronounced. 2 dip low for the back row, pop in. I want 3 Volcano because this card's an auto rank 4 basically off and special summon effect. So it's really easy to get out, it's really easy to set up board with, it's really easy to use, and then you get to use it for so many other things after it's been used as a material. So I want 3 of this card because this card is actually probably the best one of all of them, just for the recursive rank 4 plays that it can provide you with. The blast is in here for an extra beat stick, and I'll pitch from hand another discard if you need to discard one of your dead Evil Swords for pop, which is always great too. And in here for fodder once you've used up your soul charges and your Singularity is looking a bit dead. So this can get a bit dead, and because it doesn't actually do a lot on the field. The only things that do anything on the field are the double Westlow, obviously, the Evo Tiles basically. So the Evo Tile, Lucianos, the 3 Westlow, and then a Jasso. So you need to get some recursiveness going from the graveyard, and the best way to do that is through Blaster once you've used up your magic spells and traps. The one Lucio, because when it's normal summoned you can send one Evil Summons from your deck to the graveyard, so this is an instant. If you search this or draw it off the diversity or draw it, you basically normal summon it, get a free Evo Tile to the deck, to the graveyard, and then you get to go off with the Evil Singularity once you've lost it basically. Alternatively, you could Evo Force it into a Volcano, which is not a good play. So you can go summon this off the diversity, summon the Lucian off the diversity, play it, send a Serato, which is always the best one to send. Then use Evo Force and go for Volcano, bring back the Serato, play Largia, set then the Singularity, and then next turn you have an instant live before they've done anything. You've got 2 rank 4s or a solder and a solder and one of the rank 4s as well. Normally I go double Largia before they even start doing anything, which is really good play. Doesn't happen very often, but it's a really good play. It also sets up for soul charges. I run 2 soul charge because 3 is a bit dead. 2 is just the right amount. Bringing up any of these 3 once in the graveyard is just for 2, or 2 just for 2k is ridiculous. Setting up for 4k 2 Largia, it's almost game. So although it's costly, it's also cost effective if you're setting up Largia and Dolka plays. So it's really good soul charge in this deck for that reason. Run the 3 Jasso and the 3 Westlow standard because these cards are really good. And the Evo Rotor and 3 Diversity. I run 2 MST on top of the Diplos because if they play Skill Drain or if they play anything that stops me, especially summoning such as Vanities or Kaiser Colosseum, I need an out. I need an out in the deck that's not going to be a monster related one. So that's why I have just the 2 MST for those things. Everything else can be cleared or dealt with fairly easily. So this is basically to help me set up and get around stuff that would stop me setting up. Onto the traps, we have the basics set. So that's the Solemn, the Compulse, the TT, and the Bottomless. Then I run 3 of the new card from Primal Evo Singularity, and it reads like this: target 1 Evo Tile and 1 Evo Summons in your graveyard, especially someone Evils are from your X deck, and if you do, attach those targets to it as material. So this card basically gives you access to Solder, Largia and Dolka just for free pretty much. This is a 1 card XYZ, it's really ridiculous, particularly when it gives you Solder pushes as well. So it's really stupid because of that. I run 3 copies because of the easy setup I can do, the ease of the setup, particularly when you're forcing a Evol and the I can't pronounce it, guys, Lugusho play as well. Free finish chain because you still need to hit things that are too big, stop things from attacking that are too big, because this deck suffers from not having very many beat sticks outside of blaster. So for that reason, I have to have the free finish chain. The free duality, of course, are just to help search my pieces a lot quicker, help me get a bit more consistency running through the deck. Because if I open, say, 2 of these and 1 of these and none of these spells, it's in a really bad position. But duality can help me get out of that. The last card I run is Kaiser. I was looking at Vanities, but I would need to special summon this deck. I need to keep on board, and setting up Kaiser and Larget is really strong push. Because they can't go into 101 against you without getting rid of the Kaiser. They can't MST the Kaiser if you're going to play the Larget's effect on it. So it's really powerful, and you basically get a free judgment and blocking out the summons too. So it's really good for that, and that's why I'm running the 2 copies of that. On DS deck, just the 1 Gaia Dragon, because I can play it over Solder once Solder's effects are 1 off, and it's in there for a simple beta. These, notice that all these are all fire as well. So all of these are blast targets once used up, which is also really, really good. Free Largia, my best one in my opinion, easily stops everything. You've got to run 3 of this card. This card is the easiest one to spam, so it's the easiest one to get out. 2 Delca. I'm not sure if I want on 2 or 1. I'm sticking it at 2 for the moment. You're going to go into Largia more than on going to this, and if you don't go into Largia, you're probably making a Solder push off the Singularity. So you don't particularly always make this. This is made when you have a Largia on board mainly, and you want to stop monster effects going off, just to get around anything. But if you can get bored of Largia, Dolka and Kaiser, that's invariably game, and people will just pack up then because that's so hard to get out. On the non-specific stuff, Douglas to Emerald to reset all these, really good card for this deck. Really helps reset everything and lets you draw. This card has to be run at 1 at least in an Evol deck. That's my opinion. I stand by it pretty strongly. Out of all these, after these guys, this is the first thing you put in because it helps reset everything. So that's what I like. I'll talk about this in a moment. Bills, obviously, Diamond Direwolf 101, and then 2 new ones from Primal. The first one is, this card is so good. It's called Ragnar Zero, and it reads like this. It's 2 level 4 non-specific monsters. Once per turn during your player's turn, you can detach one material from this card. Then type 1 attack position monster your opponent controls whose attack is different from their original attack. Destroy that target, and if you do, draw a card. The last bit of that's the best bit. If you do draw a card, and it's playable through either player's turn. So if you play this, they have to find a way around it. It's really good against things such as Bujin, Madolshi, because their field spell boosts anything that runs Tenki, basically. So Madolshi, Fire Fist, Constellos as well. This card's really good at getting around anything that boosts, and Harpies off the field spell. This is one of the best cards of Primal in my opinion. It's been overlooked, underrated, and it's even a 24, which is not bad for a hitter either. So I'm running 1 copy of this, and it's really good. The ability to let you draw up to at least 2 cards, so it pluses you as well as destroying. So it's a +1 and -1, so it's really good. The other one I'm running is Rhapsody in Berserk. Again, it's non-specific, and it reads like this. You can target 1 face-up monster you control, equip this monster you control to that target, it gains 1200 attack. You can detach one material from this card, target 1 card in your opponent's graveyard, banish that target. If you use this effect, you can use this effect up to twice per turn. So basically you get to banish from the opponent's graveyard 2 targets, and then you get to equip this card to any XYZ you have. So obviously in this deck that's a bit good. This card deck has no way to banish, so this is a nice way to break locks from like Dark World with this card. A nice way to get around things such as zombies, some Light Swan stuff. You can dump them out the grave. Stopping things like Bujin again with their turtles and their hairs and stuff. You can just stop all that with this card, and then equip it to a Largia, which would make the Largia 36. So a 36 Largia with 2 materials is ridiculous. So, and the same for Solder would be 38. Can't be sure by card effects why it has materials. This card would be ridiculous. The only weakness this card had was its attack power, and when equipped with Rhapsody and Berserk goes up to 38. The Soldier is pretty much game, more or less game, particularly if you have Kaiser. So that's why I run this card, just the one copy. And the one level 3 I run, because you can get flipping Westlows and get dead because of it, dead hands because of it, is the Fortune Tune. Because I'm on Soul Charge, it gives me life points back. I also get to send back my level 3s, hello, my Westlows basically, and I also get to put something on the board that can take 2 hits. So all in all, this is a really good card. It helps reset everything. It helps reset my Westlows, which are the most important one of the deck. So why wouldn't I run it really? That's the reason I run this. Yeah, that's everything. That's going to be that. I haven't put a side in. I'm not going to run the macro obviously anymore. But let me know what you think, guys. What do you think about Evol's for Primal Origin? What do you think about this build? I'm finding it really good. I'm finding it pretty consistent as well. The only card I'm missing that I used to run is Primordial Soup, because it generates consistency and helps you gets out of dead drawn hands. I could put this at 41 and test it, but I'm going to leave it at 40 for the moment. I might go down to 1 MST, just the 1 MST as well, but we'll see what happens. So I'll let you know how this updates, guys. This is probably going to be my second deck of Primal, because I'll either be running Sylvans or Zombies as my main, but this will be run from time to time from here on out. So I'm going to leave this for now. Let me know what you think of this build, and yeah, there'll be some more Yu-Gi-Oh related content coming soon, guys. So that's Swift Dev over and out. Bye!